What does organic really mean? So there's this big deal with organic. I want organic. I want to buy organic. Buy organic potatoes. Get organic tomatoes. Buy organic stuff. And, honestly, I could care less and never fell victim to that. And I say that because it is kind of a victim situation. I am not exactly the blueprint of health. So, yeah, God bless the people that want to be. But organic stuff is sort of a new age, new wave thing. You can tell them from the 80s because new wave, right? Um, at least in the last couple of years, there's been a big upturn in you got to buy organic, and you got to ask for organic, and is it safe, and is it organic? And organic does not mean safe, and organic really doesn't even mean organic. So it turns out that it's a bit of a lie. And, you do what you want with this. I'm just telling you what I know for facts from people that are actually in the produce world. So I am in entertainment. I've been in entertainment for years, been in education for years. Couldn't really decide on one thing, so did lots of stuff. And having my hand in a lot of catering, food products, entertainment, events, and putting on things for hundreds and hundreds of people, I can tell you that a lot of times I find myself buying produce in bulk. You mean normal people don't drive around a city with their truck full of cases of produce? That's not normal? Oh, okay. Well, I do that a lot. And I've come to meet very, very many farmers, local and far away, people in corporate that work for big name companies, and local farmers that I've just gotten to make relationships with to buy things in bulk. And they all kind of laughed at me when I said very honestly and very innocently, hey, what's up with this organic thing? Because I really could care. I was just curious. Glad I asked. They literally laughed, every one of them, at different times for different reasons, and said, Terry, that's not a thing, right? I said, well, what do you mean it's a thing? They say it's a thing everywhere, and they charge you a lot more for it. I said, well, that's why it's a thing. So I said, what do you mean? Explain. And it turns out that if you, as a farmer, as a grower of stuff, if you will, promise to make X percent of your total growth of goods organic, then you're allowed to have like the organic seal of approval, if you will. Well, what does that mean? It means that you can't have anything weird, no pesticides. It has to be purely grown in the ground like back in the day, and as if you were a farmer of old. Okay, well, that part makes sense. But what I didn't realize is that all the typical things, potatoes, tomatoes, lettuce, etc., that people consume actually are not grown that way, even on farms that are labeled, certified, and meant to be called organic. Because what's really happening is they'll take things that can truly grow easily like that, typically herbs, parsley, cilantro. You thought I was going to say sage, rosemary, and thyme, didn't you? I know. Yeah, them too. But I didn't on purpose because I wasn't going for the cheap pun. I'm just saying. You're laughing. I know you are. Anyhow, all the things like mint, basic stuff that you could grow that's, meant to be in a barrel outside or in a little herb box on the side of a city wall, is easy to grow because you don't really need pesticides and stuff, and you really don't need much but some seeds and some soil. So most of things like that, your garlics, your basic things that are herbs, get grown, quote, correctly or organically, and everything else on the farm is still dealt with pesticides, possibly chemicals, et cetera, et cetera. And it's perfectly legal, and in reality, what you think you're purchasing more for and paying more for, you're definitely paying more for it, that's stamped organic, is simply because it came from that farm. But those products are not necessarily true. I fell victim to this. I was running around like a nut the night before Christmas Eve trying to pick up some Brussels sprouts because I had fallen short of the ones that I had. I needed another bag. And I was joking with the guy in the supermarket, and I said, oh yeah, I need some normal sprouts. And he laughed, and he's like, oh, thank God you get it. Some of these people come in and they're just after me for organic. And I try to explain to them, it really doesn't mean anything. You're just getting charged more money. But they insist, so whatever. They want to spend it, they can. And the irony was there was only one bag of organic Brussels sprouts left, which was approximately $4 more than the regular bag of plain old Sprouts, which is what I go for every time. So I had to bite the bullet and ironically buy organic. But one of my very close produce guys, John, said to me, that doesn't mean anything. He's like, honestly, people think it. They're going to go on to thinking it, but they push it, and it's definitely couched in a way that people want to believe that. But it's really not true. So if you're a person that's like, I insist on organic, they taste better, they look better. No, you're eating the exact same potatoes, tomatoes, lettuce, whatever, carrots that everybody else is eating. They are packaged differently to say the word organic. You are charged much more money, but I guarantee that they come from a farm that has a few things truly grown that way, but probably not what you're eating. And if you happen to get that one product that really is, well, congratulations to you. You lucked out. This is akin to the idea of gourmet, and nobody really discusses this either. But again, fun facts. And I find it amusing because I really don't care, and it doesn't bother me because I would never ask for it. But so many people do, and I have just said to friends that have mentioned to me that they want to worry about organics. Here's the deal, do what you want with it. And most of them are like, oh. And they've kind of just stayed on the normal stuff. Gourmet is a term that is played a lot with money, and that you can get more money for if you're purchasing a gourmet product. Well, I have friends in the business that handle a lot of chocolates. I know a few chocolatiers, and I know a few candy men, literally. No, not Willy Wonka, unfortunately, but we got talking several times about chocolate-covered pretzels, which sweet, salty, who doesn't love a good chocolate-covered pretzel? And when I was talking to the guys, I said, what's the story with a pretzel, X amount per bag? We were looking for like literally pounds and pounds for something I was doing with the kids at school. And he said, I could tell you for this, And he's like, funny thing is, they're just pretzels, Tara. We just put them in an enrober. So if you don't care, then that's, these are cheaper. And I'm like, okay. He showed me the enrober. It's basically a conveyor belt, and it's like you would see, and you've seen on maybe like a show, like how's it made, and you just have a bunch of flat pretzels that are laying on a little conveyor belt, and they go through this little hole in the machine, and it drops and drizzles chocolate on top, and then that's it, and it falls into a little vat, and later on they come out. No big deal. And so they call that the enrober. I'm like, yeah, it's fine. I don't care. And he's like, oh, okay, as long as you don't want the gourmet ones. And I was like, ooh, la la, gourmet. What is the big deal about gourmet? He's like, come here, I'll show you. So he took me in the back, showed me the classic enrober that I just mentioned, and it was like, plop, here's a pretzel, and plop, it comes out of the bottom. Dries off, life's good. Well, then he showed me the gourmet process. The gourmet process is one little station over, same thing, same chocolate, same pretzels, plop, it goes in. But an older lady that helps him out has gloves on and a little set of silicone tongs and pulls it out and like plucks it from the chocolate and lays it on a little warming tray, and it just drizzles off naturally. Because it was touched, it's considered gourmet. And they can charge up to 60% more simply because it's called gourmet. Same thing with organic. I said, are you kidding me? He goes, nope, as long as human hands were involved and it wasn't completely machine, robotic, etc., you can charge up to more, legally sticker it that way, and everybody, ooh, gourmet, la la la. Yep, classic. Slap a French word on it and people think it takes more money. Being a linguist, I laugh at that all the time because, if you put a foreign accent to it, or you put a fancy word to it, or you put a international spin, people are like, ooh, they're such wonderful things. It's like those international coffees that are probably made here, but they celebrate the moments of your life. I can remember growing up with that commercial, and it was like, ooh, it's a French coffee, ooh, it's a Mexican coffee, ooh, the Italian coffee. In reality, it was probably all made here, and like Folgers put it together, but nobody knew any better, So that's the difference with gourmet, and it's basically the same deal as organic. So it's kind of a lie. It's a legal lie. It's a loophole. And I just share because most people don't know it. Now, I know there's probably, I can like hear in my inner thoughts, people screaming at me, going, no, it's not true. I buy organic. It tastes different. It goes, hey, cool for you. You like placebo effects. You believe that potato tastes better. You go on and spend more money and you eat that potato because it makes you happy. You do you. I'm not going to lose sleep over it, and you shouldn't either. But in reality, that is the backstory to it. So if you're thinking gourmet is a big deal, or you're thinking that organic is a big deal, not really a big deal. Just a little different in the promotion and a little different in what goes on behind the scenes. But either way, whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So God knows we're probably exposed to every bad thing anyway, with or without food involved. So, I don't think that potato's lethal, but just thought I'd share something that is kind of a deep, dark secret of farm world and candy world. If you like this type of content, scare the like button into turning blue and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. Thanks for watching.